Hi guys, it's a little hard for me to do. I've hit the record button like 40 times, erased like 12. I have one video already made yesterday, but I got so overwhelmed with emotion that it went completely off track. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that this is where it needs to be. This gets across what I'm trying to do. And it's going to be hard. I'm going to warn you a few things. For starters, this is a story about my life. This is my story of what has happened to me over the last several years. And it's not pleasant. It can be gross. And let's be honest, I'm not the type of person you put on speakerphone, so I wouldn't watch this video with your kids around, even though my kids know I cuss like a sailor. So, yeah, there's that. I will do my best not to drop any major bombs, cussing bombs, because I don't want to upset some of my family on Facebook. But I'm also going to tell the truth, because for years I've been lying to everyone about a lot of things. I do my best to stay strong, and people see me as strong, but I'm not. I'm struggling. I'm struggling a lot, and there's so many out there like me that are struggling too. So many. And it's because of a system that's failing us. Yeah, I'm mad at my doctors. I have some great ones, and there are a lot of great ones out there. And there are not some great ones. I've met quite a few of them. But I don't blame them. I honestly don't. I've been in the ERs so many times. I see what it's like. People coming in with crazy illnesses and swamped ER rooms and nurses running around like their head's been cut off. People on drugs. People with cops escorting them in. I've seen it all. I really have. So I don't necessarily blame them. And I also blame the system, as in the government. Because the doctors, they're the ones with the degrees. They're the ones that's got thousands of dollars in education. I can imagine how much it costs to become a doctor, even a specialty doctor, as many specialty doctors as I have. But I hope that someone, one of them out there is watching to understand that I understand. I see you. I see you're trying in a world that's crumbling with problems, with diseases, with illnesses, with cancers, with so many problems out there. And you're trying your best. But the one thing I ask is to treat me like a human being. Treat us like human beings, because that's what we are. We're human beings fighting to stay alive, fighting to have the least bit of normalcy in our life that we can. And I also know that you have the government up your butt about what you do. I don't think they belong there. I don't think it's their say. And sometimes I don't think it's the doctor's say, because it's my body. It's my body. My body knows what my limitations are. My body's really good at telling me that. It's great. So when I walk into a doctor's room and you barely give me 5 minutes and walk out, even though you have this giant scan with thousands of images on it, and it shows you all the problems that we know are there. Don't belittle me. Don't talk us down. Don't try to make it less than what it is, and then turn around and make it more. That's the fun part of the medical world. I've got like 14 doctors, I think, or had, I guess I should say. I have 2 GPs, had 2 GPs. I fired my first one because for a year she kept saying nothing was wrong. She was wrong. She was very wrong, and she wouldn't listen to her patients. You gotta listen to your patients, docs. You gotta listen to your patients. Yeah, I know there's a few crazy ones out there. I'm not gonna deny it. I'm a little crazy too, but you still gotta listen. We listen to you. We listen to every word you say. No matter how hard those words are, we listen to them. And let me tell you, they're hard. Because until you live it, you don't know. You have no idea. And it's not just us that's suffering. We walk into your office and we tell you we hurt. We tell you something's not right. But you don't see the other part of it. I'm really good at not. I shouldn't say really good. I'm terrible at explaining pain. And it's not really unexpected when you have so many different pains and you have no clue where they're coming from. It's the worst feeling in the world. And then it's not just the patient that walks in your room that needs your help. It's their family too. They're depending on you. The one that went to college. I see you. I don't blame you all. I know a lot of it is because the government thinks they need to put their tad bit in on what you should prescribe and shouldn't, what treatments should be done and shouldn't. I know the pharmaceutical companies like to divvy up money to you to get you to sell another drug, a cure, a miracle. I've taken them a lot of them. I'm not cured. I've been through 14, I think I might be wrong, 14 surgeries. I've been hospitalized, I think 3 times now. I can't tell you how many times I've been to the ER. I have no idea. I fired one GP, found a new GP, who I love him. I won't say his name because I don't know. That would get me in trouble. I don't know. Who cares? But he's fabulous. He stood up. He stood up for me. He spoke up. He did what he needed to do. And he's supporting me in what I'm doing now. And I'll get to that at some point. I've got an ENT. I've been to 2 inner ear specialists, one that was 3 hours away. Been to 2 immunologists, one that was 3 hours away. An infectious disease doctor. 4 neurosurgeons, one that was almost 4 hours away, one that was over 8 hours away. 3 neurologists. One that's, I think, about 3 hours away. And I think I said my infectious disease doctor. That tells you how my brain isn't working very well. And I've also been to a specialty cardiologist. They specialize in certain, not just the heart, but the way that the brain works. I'm not even sure what you call them. And he was over 8 hours away. I'm thousands of dollars in medical debt and still in pain. I've got all these doctors, but not one can help me. That's been the consensus of every doctor I've gone to. I go in, they know what's there, they tell me my options. Most of them say that there's nothing they can do for me. Some say I'm going to be a lifelong opiate user. Let me tell you, that's not fun. That's not fun to hear at all. because right now they're calling it the opiate epidemic. But they need to take us out of it. We are not that statistic. We are suffering because of this opiate epidemic. Yeah, I took opiates for 2 years. Well, I wasn't addicted to them. Maybe my body was in some form, I'm sure. But I only took them when I need them. I didn't try giving them away and sell them. I wasn't going to sell them because I need them. I wasn't addicted to them. Most of us aren't addicted to them. We take them for the right reasons. And they give us some kind of normalcy. I was up to 14 pills at one time, not including the over-counter medication. I've taken so many over-counter pain relievers, which is funny because they tell you not to take opiates, but they tell you you're taking too many over-the-counter pain meds. They tell you have to take opiates. Every doctor has a different opinion. So one thing that frustrates me the most about all this, all these doctors, and half tell me I need opiates, half tell me don't do that, it causes it. That was what the last one said. It causes it. Even though I was prescribed it about 1.5 years after I was diagnosed and going through 2 or 3 years of pain. But it's what caused it. No. There's an MRI scan. There's 1,000 MRI scans on my head. And CAT scans and CTs, and I've got enough radiation to cure cancer right now. Not cure it, but fix it. You get what I'm saying. And it's like this for a lot of us. And now I'm navigating on a new path, and it's even more confusing because I want to call my doctors and ask them if I'm doing this right. But they don't know. They don't know because I'm too complicated. That's been the theme for the last 6 years. You're complicated. You're too young to be sick. No shit, Sherlock. I didn't choose this. A lot of doctors try to make you feel like it's your fault in some way. Like you choose to not be able to speak on a video and lose your words. Like you choose to crap your pants in public. I didn't choose those things. That was fate. That was supposed to happen for some reason. And this is why I'm speaking up. There's a lot of reasons why I'm speaking up. I don't completely blame the doctors. I see you. I hope at least one of you sees this. I see you. I know that our world has so many problems going on right now. And you're put under so much pressure. You're the one that's supposed to fix it. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those patients that's been, let's find a cure, even though I know there's not a cure. I've been in denial, complete denial. So I know you're frustrated because you have patients like me that come in and come on, you gotta do something. I can't live like this, and you can't help them. And I know it probably hurts you when you can't help them. But I also know that you do a lot of damage to chronic pain, chronic ill patients. You do a lot of damage. It really isn't that difficult to show a little compassion, treat him like a human being. So that's all I ask of you is the next time you see a patient that's complicated, with a rare illness, or for rare illnesses, to just listen. Listen, they're screaming right now. They're screaming really loud right now. And they've got no one. And we know they're in a cure. But that's why we need you there. We need you to be the doctor you wanted to be. There had to be a reason. Becoming a doctor has got to be one of the most difficult things. I commend the doctors for what they do. I mean, the first year I was diagnosed, I spent so much time researching these illnesses. I mean, I cannot tell you the amount of studies I read. I cannot tell you the amount of medical webinars, or whatever you call them, seminars, that I've sat through trying to figure out if there was a link. I think I spent a lot of time hoping there was a link. There was just one little link, maybe that could fix all of it. But I know that's not going to happen. Although we are the greatest medical advancements ever, we're still lacking in a way, and we need more research. So I do see you, doctors, and I don't blame you. I also know that the government thinks they need to put their noses where it doesn't belong, so I blame them too. It's my body. It's my body. Not a doctor's. It's not the government's. I should have a choice in what I put in it, how I operate on it, whether I want to continue. It should be my choice, not theirs. So, you may be wondering why I'm doing this. There's a lot of reasons. For starters, I have to speak up. I know I'm just one voice. And I know there's others out there that are speaking up. And I realized I have to too. I have to speak up. I have to tell my story. Before I even get into that, though, there's a few things you need to know. I'm okay that you don't care about my life. I'm okay that you don't care about my drama. Honestly, I might not care about yours. There's nothing wrong with that. You have a life, and you have to live it. But I need you to acknowledge that this is going on. I need you to acknowledge that there is a failure in the system. There is a failure for the poor when it comes to health. Yep, I'm poor. Over $50,000 in medical bills and medical necessities that have to come out of my pocket that I need but I can't afford. And I don't want either, to be honest, because it makes me feel even more disabled than I am. And I don't like that word. I don't like the word disabled. Not at the starting age of my late 20s. To be disabled at this age. I am now 36. With 3 kids. And a saint of a husband. I do want to hurt him sometimes, I'm not going to lie. But he's a saint. Him and my children are the only reason I keep going. But him and my children are the other reason why I want to stop. That's the other thing I need you to know. It doesn't just affect the person that's sick. It affects those around us. So much so. I've had to rely on my grandmother. Even though she's a breast cancer survivor. And it's hard to live up to her. Because I sat with her through most of her chemo treatments. And I know how strong she is. She worked on her feet for, I think, around 40 years in an aircraft plant while going through chemo. If I got that wrong, I'm sorry. Grandma, I'm sorry. And it's hard to live up to that. I want to be that strong. And I'm trying. I really am. I'm trying to be strong. But it's hard to be strong when you're making other people hurt. And I have to find a balance, and I don't know how. And I don't have help from doctors. I want you to know that there's so many more out there like me. I want you to know that this is not for attention. I want you to know that I don't want your damn sympathy. I actually hate it. And if you're gonna ask me how I'm feeling, I've lied for so long. I always say I'm fine. I always smile. There's few people that know the truth. But I'm not okay. A lot of us aren't okay. We're alone. Even though we have 100 people around us, we're still alone. Because we have to decide how to deal with it. We have to listen to the doctor say, might not make it as long as most people. You might die early. You have to listen to him tell you, there's nothing I can do for you. You have to listen to it tell you, oh, I'm sorry, you need to be drugged the rest of your life. Being that I've been on 14 drugs at one point, it didn't numb the pain. It numbed me mentally. And it wasn't fun. But it's not fun being off the drugs either. Because now I feel everything so deeply. I'm a compassionate person. And you'll find that. Any chronic illness person, any person that's suffered through cancer, kidney disease, or whatever illness, chronic pain, it don't matter. You'll find out they're the most compassionate people. They're the most humbled. Because they've gone down the darkest paths. And they see you. They see your pain. And they acknowledge it. Just because we're hurting doesn't mean we don't care about others out there that are hurting too. We want so much to help. We want so much to fix people because we can't fix ourselves. So we're willing to go to any length to fix somebody else if it's fixable, because it's a feeling of appreciation. I guess that's the best way I can put it. To be able to fix something when your life is so broken. It gives a little bit of hope. So, I'm not going to be butthurt if you don't want to watch this. I'm not going to be butthurt if you have a different opinion. We all got opinions, people. We all have something to say. It's just whether you choose to speak it out and stand behind it. So this is my life. And it will continue to be my life, so I have to talk about it. And I need people to know so many things. There's not enough time to do that, though. So I'll start with what I've gone through so far. It's been about 6 or 7 years is what people don't realize. When I started getting sick. Going to college. Missing classes. Having surgeries. I was in and out of ERs. Ear issues. Bronchitis. Pneumonia. Migraines. Gallbladder decided to shit out on me. Had to have that removed. And if you are like me in any way, when it comes to being ill, you understand what it's like being in an ER. Those doctors are stretched to their max. Those nurses, dear God, I look at a nurse and I see a person wearing a cape. That's what I see. Not all nurses are nice. And they don't get the education like doctors do. But they go above and beyond to make you feel like a person. Most of them. I've had a few that haven't been so pleasant. And ERs are just too stressful. You go in there and you either wait 4 hours, you sit in a waiting room full of people, and you tell them you're in pain. I remember one time I hit my head right on my shunt, really hard, on the metal frame getting into my door. It hit it so hard I put my body in shock. And then I was in so much shock, I laid down. I refused to go to the ER, but I realized at one point I had to go to the ER. But then when I got there, I was in so much shock and so much pain, I was shaking. It was the first time that actually rushed me back quickly instead of waiting 4 hours. And I forgot. I forgot that I hit my head. So they treated me like I had no reason to be hurting. That's the ironic thing about these conditions that I have. One of the biggest issues, and you're going to learn in this video, is you just flat out forget what the hell you're saying. You forget what you were talking about. I'm going to wonder a few times. And there was my first cuss word. You were warned. I just try to avoid the ERs because they either treat you like dirt, they don't know anything about your conditions, so they really can't help you. And most of the time when you have these type of conditions, you go to the ER for one reason, and that's to get pain relief. And while right now, if you haven't noticed, it's a little hard to go into ER and ask for pain management when we have an epidemic. And that's one of the other things. They need to take us out of that equation. They need to take the cancer patients, the chronic ill patients, the chronic pain patients. That needs to come out of that damn study because it's a lie. We're not addicted. We take them because we need to. We take them because we want to have a life for ourselves and for our families. Because it's not a life living in bed, which is what I did for 4 years. I searched, I asked questions, got no real answers, so I laid in bed. And every night I hoped that I would fall asleep, and that would be it. I would go away peacefully in my sleep, painlessly. And the suffering wouldn't just end for me, it would end for my family too. Because it's hard. It's hard to see your kids watch you hurt, watch you do things they know that shouldn't happen. It's hard to see your child crying after they see you have a seizure. That's probably one of the worst things ever. Because you're their parent. You're their protector. They are not your protector, but mine have become. My son especially. He knows when I'm having bad days. He stands up. He tells me to sit down. But he shouldn't have to. My 2 older children got the best of me. I was the mom that did to all the school events. Showed up for the birthday parties. I brought the cupcakes and the special drinks and the napkins. Participated in the classroom. Volunteered. Went outside and played. Went to a concert. My child's concert. My youngest, she got the crappy version of me. She got the mom that couldn't do those things. She got it for, a little bit of a mom for 5 years about. But then things changed. And all she got to see was the mom that couldn't get out of bed. The mom that couldn't go to her concert because it hurt too bad. The mom that lost passion for life. Lost a reason to live, even though she's standing right there. But at the same time, because of that, I know she's hurting. I know my 2 older kids hurt. And then there's my husband, my saint husband. He and my children are the reason I still go. But they're also the reason a million times I've thought of just finishing it, just being done with it. And you can call me selfish all you want, but until you're in my shoes, you don't know what it's like to watch the people around you love mentally hurt because they can't fix you. I see it in my husband's eyes. He's held my hand in the ER 1,000 times. He's watched the way the doctors and the nurses have speak to me. He's watched me cry. He's broken through a door when I was ready to end it all. He's picked up what I couldn't. He's the only reason we survive right now. 6 days a week, 14 hours a day. Because I can't work. And I want to work. I'm college educated. I had a plan, you know. I was a little late bloomer in life, but I had a plan. I love kids. I love kids. I love to look in their eyes and see the innocence that they held. I love to watch them smile. But I can't no more because of my illnesses. I can't work with kids. The first person in my family to get a college degree, although I don't claim it anymore, halfway through my bachelor's degree. Determined I was going to work with children, and at one point had a job I loved. I loved that job. I loved making a difference in the life of a child that didn't have a whole lot. In the life of a child that was destroyed. But I was there to let them know that I was here. And I can't do it anymore. I'm not allowed to. Because they're too damn germy. So, I have an autoimmune disease. It's the first thing they diagnosed me with. My antibodies attack everything but the foreign object. What do you call it? Foreign virus. Whatever comes in my body that's not supposed to be. It doesn't attack that. It attacks everything else. Then it was Chiari malformation. Some say I was born with it. I think a majority agree I was born with it. And then it caused other issues. Some say I wasn't born with it. Some say somehow I caused it. I don't recall walking around banging my head on anything. I mean, I've done some crazy things in my life, but I don't know what the hell. I've never had any major accidents, so I don't, unless my mom dropped me on my head as a kid. I love you, Mom, but I don't think you did that. Maybe I did hit my head, and I completely don't remember. I mean, I did hit my head on a car door and forgot. I don't know. Chiari malformation is basically a deformation of the skull. Some will say it's just the brain dropping out, but it is the brain dropping out. The skull formed improperly, so your hindbrain is just being shoved through a tiny hole, along with your spinal cord. Your spinal cord that is vital as well. Your brain and your spinal cord, two most vital things to your body. That, your heart, keeps it pumping, but it's your brain that tells your heart to pump. It's your brain that tells you when you need to eat. It's your brain that tells you when to quit eating. It's your brain that tells you something hurt. It's your brain that tells you to fight or flight. Mine doesn't. Mine doesn't work that way. Chiari malformation causes a lot of symptoms. I can tell you mine, but I also can tell you all the studies show that the symptoms are wildly different than each patient because there's so many. I mean, it's the brain. It's not surprising that it would cause that many issues. And then I have more issues, so I'm not really sure which one causes which, but I do think that the Chiari, the studies show that the Chiari can cause a lot of issues. They can cause jaw pain, ear pain, head pain, scalp sensitivity, eye pain, numbness, tingling, oh my god, seizures, gait issues. There's so many out there I don't even know, and I've had practically every single one of them, but that would be impossible to tell you which one it was caused by, because my next condition is pseudotumor cerebri, or IH, or IIH, or what's the other one? Intracranial hypertension. All these conditions have so many names. That one is my body produces too much cerebral fluid. We need the cerebral fluid around our brain. It protects our brain. However, mine, I don't know, I guess it thinks it needs the extra protected of way too much fluid. And it compresses my brain, which pushes it out of my skull even more. Probably will. Both conditions can be progressive. Pseudotumor can go away. It is possible to go in remission from pseudotumor, if you're lucky. But when you're like many of us, and you have comorbidities to go along with these conditions, it usually doesn't go away. I had a VP shunt placed. Basically, a small hole was drilled into my skull, and a mechanism was implanted in there, and they placed it down into a intravenous line. Sorry, I don't know how to say that exactly. Brain's crapping out right now at the moment. They place it into your brain. It has like a little pressure lever, kind of like a car does, and as soon as the pressure pops that lever, and it drains it, and it goes all the way down where I had another incision in my stomach, and it's in my stomach. That surgery, a year later, caused hernia surgery. One hernia surgery. 24 hours later, a second hernia surgery, and over a week hospitalization. Because my neurosurgeon, when he placed the shunt, did not put my muscles back together in my stomach. So I have 2 meshes on one hernia, and a shunt right in between them. A shunt tubing. So it can pop it loose, and that's what it did the first time. Now I just gotta hope my muscles don't fail me. Although they fail me every day, I just gotta hope those muscles don't fail me. My third condition is empty cella syndrome. Not really major deal. It's once again another deformation of my skull surrounding the pituitary gland. It looks like a tumor. Seems to be consensus, tumor. Looks like a tumor on the scans. And basically it affects my hormones, which, if you haven't noticed yet, I don't need no help with that. And I have scoliosis. Millions of people have scoliosis. It's pretty painful. And the spinal cord being compressed has made it more painful. And then I have the autoimmune disease. It's called IgG. I've explained that a little bit to you. I was on infusions for it at one point, and they were fabulous. They helped me a lot, even though it took 4 hours and 3 vials, large vials, which costed around $1,000 a piece. And I got very sick when I did them, so I instantly had to be given, before I even started my infusion treatment, I had to be given steroids and pain meds and nausea meds before I even started the line. And my veins collapsed on me, so I had to have a port catheter put in. because my veins quit working. Well, they didn't want to give up any more blood. Do you blame them? I've given up a lot of blood. And now I'm off the infusions because the insurance won't pay for them. That's the other problem with the system. The insurance won't pay for them, and we're coming on flu season. And when I get sick, when a lot of us get sick, and you have neurological issues, it is the worst thing in the world. It is terrible. You look like you're drunk. People think you're driving drunk. People think you're walking drunk. People think you're talking drunk. And all you are is, sorry, my brain doesn't work. And then you add an illness that normal people get. It's not a good mixture, to be honest. And the insurance won't let me go back on infusions. And I wasn't even supposed to be on steroids. Steroids can actually cause the pseudotumor to be worse. Sometimes I wonder if that's what caused the pseudotumor in the first place, since we discovered it. Because I was on a lot of steroids for about 4 years, in and out of the hospitals with bronchitis and stuff, and I kind of wonder if that didn't cause it. And then, of course, it just made the Chiari worse. And then I got hit with another brain issue. This one makes me mad. It makes me angry. Not because of the way it affects me, because of the way the doctors went about it. They'd known about it for 2 years. They'd seen it on the scans. They just didn't tell me. I guess they didn't think it was important to tell me my body produced another issue in my brain. Well, I think it's important. It's my body. I need to know what the hell my body is doing so I can figure out how to live a life. The fourth one, I can't even spell it, so don't ask. I can barely say it. Cavernous hemangioma. Basically a small cluster of blood vessels in your brain, or in your head, in your skull, I should say, that form. They can bleed. They can burst, which would be pretty bad if that happened. The only way to fix it is to get rid of it, which means another brain surgery. And it could get bigger and put more compression. Yeah, I don't want that. So I have no clue what's causing what pain at all, whatsoever. No clue. And you can't really ask the doctors because they don't know either. They don't. They just don't. They think they might have a explanation, but it's not. I just have this stuff. So I move on. I find a way to move on. And I can tell you from experience, I know a lot of people I've met throughout this journey of being sick. And they're worse than me. They're suffering. I have one that I met by pure chance. Right here in Wichita. She knows who she is. A beautiful woman. Beautiful, brave woman. I met her because I was bald. She was bald. She was looking at me. And I was like, why are you looking at me? I'm bald too, so what's so strange about me? Sorry, love you. But I'm glad I met her. Because if she's worse than me and still fighting, then I know I have to. I have to fight. I can't give in. But I'm just going to do it my way. And it doesn't work for everybody. I do not suggest doing what I have done. Honestly, talk to your doctor. I know I said some things about bad doctors, but like I've also said, there's tons of great doctors out there. So before you do anything drastic like I did, talk to your doctor. I was slightly talking to my doctor. I'm not going to lie, I did a few things without talking to him For starters, I came off all my medications in a matter of about a month and a half. You know, that wonderful opiate that did give me some normalcy. The doctor said they shouldn't be on, that it was causing it. When somebody tells me that they're right and they don't have an open mind and don't want to look past that, I get on this mission that I'm going to prove it. And if I'm wrong, I'll apologize. But this time I was right. I was off those opiates in a month, I think. Maybe a little over a month. Faster than I should have been, being that I took them for 2 years. Max dosage, 4 hours, every 4 hours, 1,000 milligrams. And I was off them in a month. I wasn't addicted to them. I needed them. And then that month after that, I came off my nerve medication. I came off a bunch of medication. All of my medication. 14 medications. But then I went just right back to the over-the-counter pain meds. I found there was two or three medications that I do have to take. And now I'm learning my body all over again. That's the ironic part about this, is I'm learning it all over again. New pains are coming up because some stuff was numbed. The minimal things, like the fact that my knees aren't that great. I didn't feel that because I was in so much pain. It didn't bother me. I did everything normal with my knees. And then I got put on medications that helped my knees but didn't help my brain. And then I took myself off of them. And now I feel that pain on top of all the other pain. It's not fun at all. It's hard. It hurts. It hurts. And you walk around and you try to do stuff. You try to be involved. And I've thrown my body into this major temper tantrum because I came off the meds. I've been going for 2 to 3 mile walks every morning. I've been making myself stay on my feet every day. I changed the way I eat. I decided it was my choice what drug I put in my body to help for my pain, and I chose THC. I chose cannabis, regardless if it's illegal here in the state. That's the other thing people need to know. I came back from that neurologist, get that straight, neurologist's office that night. And car rides are not fun for brain illness patients. They're pretty painful, especially driving through Oklahoma. I love you, Oklahoma. I do. I have family in Oklahoma. I love them to death. Your roads suck ass. I mean, honestly. I feel like I'm going to disappear into a pothole or my brain's just going to come out the rest of the way. And I have to go through Oklahoma a lot. I've had to go through Oklahoma to get to my doctors. I've got to go through Oklahoma to get to my husband's family. I got to go to Oklahoma. It's one of my favorite places in the world. Eureka Springs, Arkansas, where we were married. And it hurts. So I decided I have to do something different. And I tried THC and it worked. It worked really well. There's still moments. And I have to do it more frequently than I thought I would, which I don't like that idea. It's not fun taking a drug that works, but you might get in trouble for. But I kind of look at it as this, that I would rather get arrested for that and have my kids suffer through that than let them suffer through seeing me in all this pain. And if I can find something that works, then why can't I take it? And without guilt. I'm sick of the guilt. I'm sick of the way that the doctors, the people look at me. When I told them I took opiates, when I tell them I do pot, it's a terrible feeling to tell people this stuff and see the look on their face. I'm not an idiot. I know what you think. The thing is you don't know how I feel. You aren't on my shoes. I'm not on yours either. So it's not my right to judge you, nor is it your right to judge me. So just quit judging. Just accept the fact that some things do work and some things don't, regardless of the legalities. And move away if it bothers you. You don't need to involve yourself in it if it bothers you. I mean, it's not your life. Step in my shoes. I wouldn't want anybody to step in my shoes. But if you're gonna go as too far too far to judge me on how I treat my conditions, or how I spread awareness, or how I speak out, then step in my shoes. And you need to know there's so many of us out there like this. There's so many. There are drugs out there that do work. Some people can't afford them. Me being one. I have insurance. I have a nice deductible and not enough money to pay for it. But it's not fair when you know something works for the pain, the excruciating pain, but you're not allowed to take it. I just hope that this helps somebody understand the life of living with a chronic illness. I just hope this gives you a different perspective. And I hope it lets others know that you're not alone. I see you. I see you. Whatever ails you. Maybe you're depressed. Maybe you're severely depressed and trying to find a reason to stay around. There's a reason. You'll find it. It may take a while, but there's a reason. Maybe you're suffering through some of the same illnesses I am. And I know your pain. And I know there's days where you're in so much pain, you just want it all to end. And nothing could help, not even pot. And I want you to know that it's worth a fight. There's something in your life that makes it worth it. Don't be like me. Don't let yourself get to the point where you're ready to quit. Don't be like me. You do what's right for you. Don't let people dictate what's better. I also want people to know that I've just come to this decision. I'm changing my life a lot. My body hates it. But I've come to this decision that if you're going to ask me how I'm doing, I'm going to give you the real answer. Because I'm sick of saying I'm fine. Because I'm not fine. We're not fine. There's a lot of us that aren't fine. We're hurting. And it's not just us, it's our families. If you care and you want to ask if I'm okay, I'm going to tell you that I'm not okay. Then it may be a really crappy day you ask me on to. If you don't care, don't ask. It doesn't hurt my feelings, honestly, it doesn't. Sometimes I get sick of explaining why I can't show up. Why I have to leave early. Why I have to pace the parking lot. While everyone's inside enjoying a beautiful moment. It sucks to explain it over and over and over again for 6-7 years. So don't ask if you don't want to know. Don't ask if you don't care. And I'm not going to be hurt by it. I really ain't. You have your own life. I understand that. I do ask that you just think. You think before you speak. Because words hurt a lot. I've spent the better part of 4 years hoping for somebody to accept me, hoping for somebody to believe me, hoping for something to give, hoping I wasn't so lonely. Even though there's a lot of people out there like us. I don't call myself strong, but I know I'm strong because I hold a lot in. There's a lot you don't see. There's a lot you don't know. You don't see the nights on the bathroom floor throwing up, crapping yourself at the same time. You don't see the nights where you're laying there crying on the floor. You don't know what it feels like to tell your child no, can't go to your concert. No, I can't go play at the park. You don't know what it feels like when your life has become nothing but a medical mystery. And I just need people to know. Just think before you speak. Think. And next time when you're in a public place, remember everybody's got a battle. You have a battle. We all have battles. Some are harder than others. Person next to you may be suffering from kidney disease. Person in front of you may be battling the fight of their life with cancer. The very person you may know may be battling depression at its worst, but too scared to speak up. Those people just need somebody. Somebody to acknowledge their pain, their misery, their suffering. Somebody to acknowledge. To acknowledge them, to see them. To truly see them. Because we're so much more than our illnesses. I get this illness has taken so many people from me. I've lost a lot of people along the way. Even some of my own family, they don't get it. They don't understand. And I'm okay with that now. I've decided I'm okay with that. I'm okay that at my worst, I have one person that I'll talk to. There's a couple others out there I want to, but I never do. Because I'm already enough of a burden to my own family that I don't want to place the burden on anybody else. I don't want anybody else to feel like they have to carry me, to feel like they have to prop me up. I want to be able to do that on my own. Unfortunately, it's been my husband and my kids that have had to do it for the last 4 years, and right now I'm trying to figure out how to do it on my own. It'd be awesome if the doctors would help me out a little bit. It'd be awesome if the government would shut the hell up. Just shut up. You have no clue. So I just ask that you look at people. Take a minute, look them in their eyes. You'll see their pain. You don't need to say anything about it. You just need to let them know you're there. Let them know you believe them. Let them know you want them around. I've lost people in my life to suicide. And I blame myself sometimes because I didn't speak up. I didn't say I see you. I didn't say I know you're hurting. And just like that, they're gone. I lost people to illnesses. And I can't let my family hurt like this no more. You can't be my medicine. We have to be our own medicine. We have to find a way to. And I'm finding my way right now. And you gotta bear with me. For those of you that think I'm a bitch, I promise you I'm not. Just so you know, for those of you who don't know me, consensus seems to be that I'm this major bitch that's stuck up and doesn't like anybody. That's not the case. So before you make a comment about somebody that looks pissy and sitting in a corner, remember, everybody has a battle. Everybody has a fight. And everybody has a point. So don't assume that about them. And you really will have to bear with me because I want to be involved. I want to see those moments in life that are so precious. People getting married. It reminds me of a time when there was no pain. Or at least minimal pain. It reminds me of a time where my husband was my husband and not my caregiver. I wasn't as patient then. Now I am. I'm everybody's patient, not just the doctor's. It's no fun being everybody's patient. And I don't blame people for stepping away from me. I actually blame myself. I isolated myself a lot. And people couldn't understand it. It's one of the reasons I did this, I guess. I need people to understand it. I didn't isolate myself because I hate you. I didn't isolate myself because I'm snobby and I'm better than you. I isolated myself so I didn't have to expose you to the reality. I isolated myself because I don't want to do the pain. Everything causes pain. Noise, pressure, weather, certain movements. Everything causes pain. Every morning I get up. I don't want to. And I walk. The one thing I loved most in life. Always have. And I thank my grandfather for that. Is music. And I quit listening to it for a while. It's when I lost myself, truly, honestly. Music is my way of communicating. Music is my way to release the world. Release the problems. To let go. To escape. I loved learning in college. I loved learning about kids. I loved learning the psychology of their brains. I loved learning. And I can't read. It hurts to read. I can't see to read. Especially like right now, the storm system. Almost everything is blurry. I can't drive at night right now because the pain's bad. And when the pain's bad, car lights cause my eyes to quit working. And then I go blind and almost wreck, which I almost did in Arkansas last week, which was not fun at all. I love Arkansas, but I sure as hell don't want to go down one of their roads. I don't want to flip and roll down their big old mountains. And I just realized I have to have those things back that made me me. That's the only way I'm gonna get there, even if it hurts. Even if it hurts. So I put my headphones in and I blare the music till it numbs it. Till it completely numbs it. May not make sense to a lot of people. So that's how I deal with it. And for those of you that love me, that truly want to fight for me, that truly are fighting for me, there's quite a few. I'm not a patient to you, and you can't fix me. But I love you for trying. I do, I love you for trying. And I see you. And I want you to know that I'm thankful for you. Because I'm sure you had some part in me staying. You had some part in me fighting. And I don't know if this is gonna work. 4 months now. 4 months. No medications. THC. Changing food. Moving around a lot. I don't know if it's gonna work. I hope it does. Because I'm at a point where I have nothing left. I have nothing else to give. Because my body takes it all. My brain takes it all from me. So I need this to work. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's another battle I'll just have to figure out again. And that's probably what I'll do the rest of my life. And to those of you that are suffering, maybe just like me, some like me, more than me. And I know there's a lot of you. I see you. I'm here. I believe you. I believe you. And I know you're hurt. And I know you're scared. We're all really scared. We all know death comes to all of us. But it's still scary when you're young and your body is so messed up. It's scary. You don't know what's gonna come next. Am I gonna have a seizure? Is my brain just gonna decide it's done and paralyze me? Am I gonna quit breathing in my sleep, which so many times I've wanted to, but still I'm scared of it? And those are all things that can happen. I've had seizures. I never want to have seizures again. Never. And that's probably one of the things I'm most scared of right now, making all these changes, is that I could damage something more. There's that possibility. I could cause more seizures. Thankfully, I have a physical therapist that's supposed to be treating me for something else, but she is brilliant. And she has helped me a lot. So I'm gonna keep fighting until I can't no more. And I'm gonna hurt. And I'm gonna learn to be okay with that. But I'm not fine. And I'm going to be okay with that. And for my loved ones, my family, I need you to know that I am here. I'm here. I might not show up a lot, but I'm here. I'm here.